So you have a document that needs to be translated and you think it'll be easy, so you just go online and you price shop to just get it done. That could cause you problems. Hang on, keep watching, and we'll explain why.
Rapport International, professional translation and interpretation services.
The first consideration you need to think about for getting a document translated is how well written is it? If it's poorly written, or there's something that could be misunderstood, or it hasn't been edited, or there could be confusion about something, this can cause a huge problem for the translator. And an experienced translator is always going to circle back to you and let you know that something's unclear or that it's not clearly written, and might even make suggestions to English on how it could be more clear. Or they might capture dates that have been mistaken. These are all things that we've seen. So by going to a lower price person, you may not be getting a quality person that's actually looking it over and can give you suggestions. So number one, consider how well written your document is. Number two is the copy on your document written in Global English? Now, if you use long sentences, you use a lot of prepositions, you use a lot of references, you use complex sentence structure, this can be hard to translate because putting it into another language, there can be multiple meanings that come across there. So if you're writing a document that's going to be translated, it's good to use a good Global English, which is shorter sentences, very clear language, appropriate references. This makes the document much easier for the translator to work with. The next consideration is the voice. Now, if you're doing multiple documents, you want to have a consistent voice. So each company has a voice that they write in, and typically the marketing people or the communications people will know what this voice is, or you're having a person write it. So you have a style that's going out and is consistent. So if you send it off to an agency or different translators, you're going to lose that voice because it's not going to stay the same throughout. So translation is like writing. People have different styles. They might have different word choices. So making sure you keep consistency of voice and keep the same translator on your materials really does help with word choice and how your message is coming across. An experienced translator will know to keep your document translation in the same register that the English is written in. So for example, if you have medical communications that are going out to the general public, you might write that in a 7th grade level so everybody can understand it clearly and not have confusion. Now, the translator is going to keep it at same register. It means that it's for an audience of a certain reading level. Now, if you've got something that's going to a PhD level audience that's deep into research on something, you've got to have a translator that understands that document and also understands the technical aspects of it to be able to do it. So again, you've got to be very careful on who you're picking to translate any of your documents. The next consideration is layout. Now, is your document simply a Word document and it's just going to flow and it doesn't matter how many pages it's going to go in? Or is it a one-page document that you really want to keep to one page because that's going to be the easiest way to hand it out? So layout is another consideration. Translators will work in a lot of the common programs and keep that, and they'll play with the font sizes and how the words wrap and maybe the margins to make sure that it fits in. And I'm referring to Expansion, which you can read about in another blog or watch the video about that. But the layout is real important. And then think about the content in your form. When we work with people, we look at the forms and the content that they're translating and see if there's another place that we can repurpose it. So for example, if you've got a handout that's educating people about, I'll use a medical condition or a product that you're selling, like a product spec sheet. That content can also be used on your website, and it's not going to cost you anything more to translate it. So re-leveraging any document translation maybe into your website or another place that you want to use it. And that gives you consistency of voice, it saves on translation costs, and it becomes much more efficient. Now, if your document translation has fill in the blanks, or it's got spaces where you're also trying to gather information, we've looked at some forms that really could be multiple choice. So rather than having it translated and then the person would fill it out in another language, what about converting your forms over to a multiple choice so anybody who's reading it could actually tell what the responses are because they're multiple choice? Or is there a way to make the document bilingual so it also has the English or the native language on there? So when we ask for your document so we can quote it, these are all the kinds of things that we're considering to make sure that you're being efficient and effective with the document that you're translating. And finally, once you've had your document translated and you're adding it into your archive so you can pull that out, remember to label it. Do you know the difference between simplified or traditional Chinese or Korean and Japanese? You don't want to have any confusion and send it off to somebody and it's the wrong language. So make sure you label it, make sure you date it. If you need to copyright it, you want to do that too. So as a professional translation company, this is what all the different considerations we're looking at when you ask for your simple document to be translated. Thanks for watching. Please leave your comments below or reach out to us if you ever want a free multilingual marketing assessment or consultation on any documents that you need translation. Thanks.
If you found this video helpful, please share it, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you like hearing fun language and culture facts and goofs, use the link below to subscribe to our bi-monthly Tidbit newsletter. And of course, visit our website for more information or to schedule a free translation assessment.